Hi, everyone. Welcome to another On My Mind. This one's going to be hard. I thought it was going to be good, and I thought, yeah, I want to do this one. And I was taking a look at it, and I thought, oh no, Lord, why? I'm not sure I can do this without more than one take. But anyway, before we get started, I want to say thank you so much if you're a subscriber. I want to say hi to newbies. If you like this and you think it'll help somebody else, share it. Newbies, hit that subscribe button. So, here we go. Now, I know that I'm not the only person who has experienced traumatic events. And with every single traumatic event that we experience, there's always a question of who are we going to become afterwards. So, I'm going to use, to start, I'm going to use the example when my husband passed away. One of the things I did was I got rid of the pool table that was in the living room and all the bar signs and everything. And, that was his room. And yeah, it was hard. So I got rid of that stuff. And then I had an empty wall, just this white plain wall. And I remember looking at it and saying, now who am I? Because for 30 years, my whole identity was tied up into being a wife and a mother. And yeah, I was a teacher, but it was still you're a wife and a mother. And the kids are grown and your husband's gone. And well, now who are you? But it's not so much. I think the question goes, it goes deeper than that. It goes, who will you become? And I was asking myself that. And there's been other events that you can say are traumatic, but I'm thinking about one in particular that in this particular event, it's taken me years to face it and to deal with it and to get counseling to help handle it. Now, I'm not saying that I don't know. Some people can handle it on their own. Some people find counseling help. Some people find it doesn't. I'm not going into that. I'm not a counselor. But the question was, who will you become? And the statement right below it is so true. We don't always get to choose what happens to us. I didn't choose for my husband to pass away, obviously. I didn't choose for this other set of traumatic events to happen that I blamed myself for so long. But we do have control over our reactions and emotions, and we will choose. Because we can choose to stay in it and to let it eat us up alive. Or we can choose, God, how do I say this? How to make peace with your demons. How to fight it. Now, don't misunderstand me in saying that I say they will go away, because mine don't. The memories are always there. And I know people, and in particular one person, that this person's demons are constant and they're horrific. Thank God my demons aren't so bad. Aren't so often is the word. Aren't so often. Sometimes when they come, it's quick and I can acknowledge them, and I've learned to, put them. And sometimes they want to stay a little longer and do what they do, okay? But how you respond, this is another quote that goes right with it. How you respond can end up having a greater effect on your life than the cause itself. I mean, if I continually over years blame myself for something that wasn't my fault and call myself all kinds of ugly names for something I wasn't my fault, what does that do to a psyche? And if you continually have nightmares night after night after night, year after year after year, what does that do? And I'm not saying that there's something wrong with somebody who still has those nightmares and who still has them, and who is still dealing with that vividly. My husband had PTSD severely from Vietnam, okay? And we dealt with all those issues, holes in the wall, touching him to wake up and backing up so he didn't come out striking, because he did. The self-medicating with other things, nightmares, okay? And I have dealt with my own, my own way of handling it or not handling it. So I'm not saying, I'm not putting anybody down who goes through it, because I know, okay? And I'm not saying if it's this bad for you and that it's something wrong, and that's not the case. I'm just saying that we don't always get to choose what happens to us. And we can, to one degree or another, control our emotions and our reactions, because it can be healthy or unhealthy. And how you respond, again, how you handle it, can end up having a greater effect on you than the cause itself, because that cause is within a time frame. But this is the length of the emotions. I mean, you could be dealing with this for 20, 30, 40 years, I mean, and you have to find your own path. Sometimes it's just talking to friends. Sometimes it's help. I'm not a therapist of any way. I'm just saying these are true things. For me, getting angry about it, not taking it out. Well, I did for a while, but not taking it out on anybody. But if you just want to scream, you want to holler, you want to do whatever. But for me, facing it through my writing and my journaling, okay. But the other thing is prayer. It's honest prayer, and I've always said to people, go talk to God. If that's, again, that's my belief, and it's a strong belief. Go talk to God. And I always say, hey, tell us how you feel anyway, don't lie. And here's it. Here's this part of it, and this is part of this was from The Land Between by Jeff Manion, and this part is from When Your Rope Breaks. It's by Steve Brown. So he's talking about honest prayer, and it can really help when your rope is broke. Okay, now whether your rope is broke because you're at your wit's end with your kids, or you're at your wit's end with this, or somebody, or that traumatic event, or it's the straw that broke the camel's back, because it's a bunch of stuff. But when you're at your rope's end, if you're angry and hurt, don't tell God that you love him. He knows you're lying. Don't tell him that you know he is doing whatever he's doing in your life for a good reason. He knows you don't believe that for a moment. Tell him the truth. I don't like this. It's the pits. And I would sometimes I'll tell him, I don't care what you're trying to teach me. I don't want to. I don't want to learn it. Obviously, I keep having to go through this over and over again. So I'm done. I don't want to learn this. Stop. Quit. You know, if this is what it takes to learn it, I don't care. I don't want to. You know, and I tell him that. You need to tell him the truth because you know, and this is true. He is maybe the only person in the world who can absorb everything you hand out and understand why you do it and still love you. Okay? Yeah, he does. Yeah. I just you know, again, it's always that go to God, go to God. But back to you don't always get to choose what happens to you, but we do have control over our reactions and our emotions. It may take a long time. And I know a friend who says, I don't think it's ever going to stop. I haven't been able to stop it yet, no matter what. You know, counseling hasn't stopped. This hasn't, nothing. I can't. He says, but how you respond can end up having a greater effect on your life than the cause itself. So it wasn't just God for me. I had to go to counseling. I had to, you know, safe space to vent, a safe space to tell the truth, a safe place to beat me up, to beat myself up, and to finally admit, you know, what I thought about myself, and to get through it and get to the point where I realized it wasn't myself. But even then, and with some friends of mine, and this person in particular, you know it. You can know it was not your fault. There's no doubt in your mind that it wasn't your fault. Okay? But after years and years, you can't find peace. When you've tried everything else. And yeah, you probably needed everything else. Maybe you need everything else. I'm not advocating anything. But try God. Just try God. Give him a chance. Okay? So, love you guys. God bless. I know it's kind of a downer, but God put it on my mind. Maybe it's part of my therapy too. I don't know, but somebody out there needs it to hear it. I hope it blesses you. And if it's not something you need, don't delete it. Like it and share it with somebody or just share it. There's got somebody out there that could use it. Okay. Again, thanks for listening. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next week. Bye. Have a blessed day. Oh, and again, happy Mother's Day. Bye.